Hello, my friends. Welcome back to Steady English Stories. Close your eyes for a moment. No, wait, keep them open. You need them to read with me. But picture this in your mind. It is the year 1920, in the city of Cleveland, Ohio, in the United States. The street is full of noise and danger. Horse-drawn carriages move slowly on one side. Automobiles, loud, new, and fast, rush past on the other. Bicycles weave between them. And in the middle of all this chaos, people try to cross the street on foot. There are no clear rules. There is no light to tell drivers when to stop and when to go. Can you imagine that? Every single day, in cities across America, people were hurt or killed simply trying to cross the road. One man watched this chaos with his own eyes. He saw a horse-drawn carriage crash into an automobile right in front of him. And in that single moment, he decided something had to change. His name was Garrett Morgan. And before we go further, my friends, if this kind of true story, one person, one idea, changing the world for millions of people who will never even know his name, if that kind of story moves you, please subscribe to this channel. Every week, we bring you a new one, slowly, clearly, so you can learn English while your heart learns something too. Now, let's go back before the traffic light. Back before Cleveland, back to where Garrett Morgan's story really begins. He was born in the year 1887 in a small town called Paris in the state of Kentucky. His parents, Sidney and Elizabeth, had once been enslaved. That means they were once owned by other people, forced to work without freedom or pay. By the time Garrett was born, slavery had ended in America, but the poverty it left behind had not. Garrett was the seventh of 11. Children 11. Think about that for a moment. 11 mouths to feed on a small farm in a poor part of the country. There was no room for a boy to dream big. There was only room to work. He went to school, but only for a few years, until the 5th grade. That means his formal education stopped when he was still a young child. Most people, my friends, would call that the end of any real chance at a big future. How could a boy with almost no schooling from a poor black family in the American South ever change the world? But Garrett Morgan was not like most people. At just 14 years old, he left home, alone. He traveled north to the city of Cincinnati, in the state of Ohio, searching for work. He found a job as a handyman, someone who fixes small things, doing odd jobs for money. It was not glamorous work, but it was honest, and it kept him fed. He was hungry, not just for food, but for knowledge. With the little money he earned, Garrett hired a private tutor to keep teaching him. Even after school had ended for him, he wanted to learn. He wanted to understand how things worked. And here is where we see the spark. My friends, the small sign of something bigger to come. Garrett had a gift, a mechanical mind. He could look at a machine and understand it, and often improve it. In 1895, he moved again, this time to Cleveland. There, he took a job sweeping floors at a company that made sewing machines. Sweeping floors, the lowest job in the building. But Garrett watched. He listened. He learned how the machines worked simply by paying close attention every single day. And slowly, he became known, not as the boy who swept the floors, but as the man who could fix any sewing machine that broke by night. Garrett Morgan had saved enough money to open his own repair shop. 2 years later, he added a tailoring shop, a business that makes and repairs clothing, right beside it. A boy who had left school at 10 years old, who had swept floors for a living, now owned 2 businesses of his own. But my friends, here is a question for you. Do you think a mechanical mind like his, a mind that had already built a business from nothing, would simply stop there? Do you think a man who noticed everything around him would fail to notice the growing danger right outside his own shop on the streets of Cleveland? He would not, because Garrett Morgan was about to make one accidental discovery, not in the street, but in his own workshop, that would change his life forever and lead him, step by step, toward the invention that would one day save countless lives around the world. In his workshop, Garrett Morgan was experimenting with a liquid polish meant to help sewing machine needles move faster through cloth without burning the fabric. He tested it on a piece of fabric, and it worked well. But then, almost by accident, some of that same liquid touched a piece of animal fur cloth nearby, and something strange happened. The curly fur became straight. Garrett noticed. He always noticed. So he took the same liquid and tested it on his neighbor's dog. The dog's curly fur straightened too, and then, carefully, he tested it on himself. It worked. From that one accident, Garrett created a hair straightening product and built it into a successful business. My friends, this tells us something important about invention. It does not always come from searching. Sometimes it comes from paying close attention to the small surprises life gives you. But Garrett Morgan's most famous invention was still ahead of him, and so, sadly, was one of the hardest lessons of his life. In 1914, he patented something he called a safety hood, a canvas hood with tubes for breathing and a wet sponge inside to filter smoke and gas. Today, we would call this an early gas mask. It let a person breathe safely, even inside a building full of smoke, for 2 years. This invention sat quietly, mostly unknown. Then, in 1916, disaster struck. Deep under Lake Erie, workers were digging a tunnel when a powerful explosion trapped many of them underground. In a space filling with toxic gas, Garrett Morgan heard the news. And without waiting, he grabbed his safety hoods and with his brother ran toward the danger, not away from it. The 2 men climbed down into that gas-filled tunnel again and again, pulling out survivors. They saved lives that day. Real lives. Real people who would have died without that hood on their face. You would think, my friends, that this act of courage would make Garrett Morgan famous, celebrated everywhere. And for a short time, it did. Newspapers praised the heroic rescue. Cities wanted to buy his safety hoods. But then people learned something else about the inventor. They learned that Garrett Morgan was black. And in that time and place, in America, in 1916, many buyers, fire departments, cities, companies simply stopped buying his hoods. Not because the invention had changed, not because it worked any less well, but because of the color of his skin. It is a painful part of this story, and we will not hide from it, my friends. Garrett Morgan had risked his own life to save others, and still, prejudice cost him business he had rightfully earned. Do you think a lesser man would have given up after that? Many would have. But Garrett Morgan did not stop working. He did not stop noticing the world around him. And so we return to that street in Cleveland, the same chaos we imagined at the very beginning of this story. Garrett Morgan now a prosperous businessman with his own automobile, drove often through those crowded, dangerous streets. He saw the same danger again and again: carriages, cars, bicycles, and pedestrians, all moving with no clear rules. Simple traffic signals already existed in a few places, even as early as 1868 in London. But those early signals only had two positions: stop or go. There was no warning, no pause between them. A driver could be told to go. At the very same moment, another driver was still finishing crossing the intersection. Can you see the danger in that, my friends? No space to react, no time to adjust. Garrett Morgan believed there was a better way. He designed a T-shaped signal, 3 positions, not 2, stop, go, and, in between, a third position that stopped traffic in every direction at once, giving cars already in the intersection time to clear safely before the next direction was allowed to move. This third position was the ancestor of what we today call the yellow light, the caution light. In February of 1922, he filed his patent application, and on November the 20th, 1923, at 46 years old, Garrett Morgan received United States Patent Number 1,475,024 for his 3-position traffic signal. He did not stop there. He also secured patents in Britain and in Canada, and soon after, the General Electric Company, a large and powerful business, bought the rights to his invention for $40,000. Today, my friends, that amount would be worth more than $700,000. For a boy who once swept floors for pennies, this was an extraordinary height to reach. Garrett Morgan, son of formerly enslaved parents, a boy who left school before the age of 11, had just changed the way every city on earth would manage its streets. But my friends, here is a question worth sitting with. When you reach the very top of a long climb, what waits for you next? A soft place to rest, or a new, harder road? For Garrett Morgan, life was about to test him again. Not through business this time, not through prejudice either, but through something quieter, and in some ways far more painful: a slow darkness, closing in on the very eyes that had once noticed everything. The years passed, and Garrett Morgan continued to work. He continued to build. In 1920, he started his own newspaper, the Cleveland Call, which grew into one of the most important black newspapers in the entire country. He supported causes that mattered to him. He kept inventing small things, useful things, right up until the end of his life. But in 1943, something began to change inside his own eyes. Garrett Morgan developed a condition called glaucoma, a disease that slowly damages the eye and can lead to blindness. Slowly, quietly, the disease took his sight. By the time it had run its course, Garrett Morgan had lost 90% of his vision. The man who had once watched every small detail of a sewing machine, who had noticed a single accidental drop of liquid change the shape of fur, who had studied the chaos of a city street closely enough to redesign it, that same man could now barely see the world in front of him. Some people who study his life believe this decline may have connected, at least in part, to the years he spent breathing dangerous air back in that Lake Erie tunnel, saving strangers' lives. If that is true, my friends, then, in a strange and heavy way, the very act of heroism that once cost him business may also have cost him something even greater: decades later, and yet, even nearly blind, Garrett Morgan did not stop. He kept working on new ideas. One of his final inventions was a simple, self-extinguishing cigarette, designed so it would put itself out and reduce the risk of fire. Even in darkness, his mind kept searching for ways to make the world a little safer. In the summer of 1963, shortly before a large celebration was planned to mark 100 years since the Emancipation Proclamation, the document that had freed enslaved people in America, including his own parents, Garrett Morgan was honored by the United States government for his traffic signal invention. He had waited his whole life to see this kind of recognition. And then, on July the 27th, 1963, at 86 years old, Garrett Morgan passed away in Cleveland, Ohio. He never got to attend that centennial celebration he had been so looking forward to, but he did live long enough to know that his country had finally, formally, said thank you today. Every time you stand at a street corner, anywhere in the world, and you see a light change from green to yellow to red, you are looking at an idea that began with one man's careful eyes on a chaotic Cleveland street over 100 years ago. Millions of lives saved every single day by 3 simple colors. So what can we learn from Garrett Morgan, my friends? First, real change often comes from people the world does not expect. A boy with no formal education. A man who once swept floors. Prejudice tried to stop him more than once, and yet his ideas outlived every person who ever doubted him. Second, pay attention to the small details of your own life. Garrett Morgan's hair-straightening business began with an accident he simply chose to notice. His traffic signal began with one crash he witnessed on an ordinary day. Big ideas rarely announce themselves loudly. They wait quietly for someone patient enough to see them. And third, even in darkness, quite literally, in Garrett Morgan's case, you can still choose to keep building. And that, my friends, brings us to you, maybe right now. Learning English feels a little like that crowded, chaotic Cleveland street. New words rushing at you from every direction. Grammar rules that don't seem to have clear signals. Moments where you're not sure when to stop and when to go. That feeling is normal. Every single fluent speaker once stood exactly where you are standing now. But just like Garrett Morgan, you don't need a perfect start. You don't need a long education or perfect conditions. You only need to keep noticing, keep practicing, one small step at a time, and slowly, steadily, your own chaos will turn into clear, confident understanding. If this story moved you today, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe if you haven't already. It truly helps this channel keep telling these stories for free, for learners just like you, all around the world. And I would love to know, where are you watching from today, my friend? Write it in the comments below. I read every single one. Until next time, my friends, keep learning.